Alright, so Silent Hill came out in 2006. It is a psychological horror film directed by Christophe Gans and written by Roger Avary, also by Gans, and Nicholas something. It's pretty much a film adaptation of the 1999 video game Silent Hill. It stars Radha Mitchell, Sean Bean, and Jolie Forland. Arriving at Silent Hill, Rose is involved in a car accident, awakens to find to uncover. Long story short, I have played Silent Hill 4, the Room, even though it's not really it wasn't really meant to be a Silent Hill game. I only played a demo. I played a demo of Silent Hill 3 as well. I never played the others. But yeah, I sort of grew up with Silent Hill, but not really. Like, I wasn't really a big fan of it. It was more Resident Evil 4. So I give them credit for playthroughs. His look I actually liked. It says, as much as we're gonna get a live action Pyramid Head for sure. Everything's practical. Well, a lot of stuff is practical in this, which I liked. There is some CGI, but it's fine for my sensibilities. There was I did like some of the camera work where it would do like panning shots and then steady cam and then crane shots or rotating shots. I like that. There's this cool scene where Pyramid Head rips the skin off this one girl and holds her up like a trophy. I thought that was pretty cool. While she's screaming. It doesn't really have a lot of good gore. But towards the end it kinda does. Like the monster makeup is really good. I know it's enhanced with, CGI, but like the actual monsters are actually practical suits, and I mean the nurses scene is pretty creepy, and if I can give the movie a negative, it would be I don't like the fact that our lead doesn't fight these monsters really. Like, she runs away most of the time. Granted, you can argue like in the video game, you get to fight the monsters because of the video game, but she's hysterical and trying to look for her daughter. I get it, but she why he doesn't try to go at him. But the nurses I can get sorta as well, but the other monsters, come on. And the whole share. I didn't like the opening of this movie where basically it's the daughter Sharon. She's sleepwalking, and that's when she gets visions of Silent Hill, and then she actually screams out, "Silent Hill! Silent Hill!" I'm like, shut up. I didn't like that. I thought, if anything, you should have opened up with a better opening. Should have wrote a better opening. Also, I ain't really come to think of it. I couldn't get behind our lead character's reasoning for going to Silent Hill. I mean, I get your daughter's having these nightmares since she was born or whatever. She's a line of dialogue it's getting worse, and the doctors can't help her. I get it, but I would have liked it. I don't know. We had a better opening to introduce stuff, and I mean, I guess I get it, but again, could have had better opening. As she read up on the town, even dreams, but come on, you don't need to take her there. Then she's like, well, you're gonna go there, so maybe you can remember. Even though her daughter's I don't remember what I dream and what I draw. So I didn't really care for her decision there as a parent. And even like the cop Sybil, like I got like why she is the way she is, because like we find out like her reasoning for suspecting foul play with Rose, but I didn't care much of her character. And then she makes a dumb decision later on where I'll hold him back. You find your daughter, and then like it's like no, just go in the elevator. Just go in the elevator, because like you didn't need to hold anybody back. Like, all you had to do was wave around your gun, or whatever, secure, and then she's pretty cool camera work. And then searching for Sharon, Rose pursues her. She thinks she sees her daughter, so she runs after her. Which I'm like, I think if that was your daughter and she hears your voice, I think she's gonna run towards you versus away from you. But maybe that's just me thinking, wishful thinking, I guess, or me thinking crazy. Um, Also, she turns to resemble Sharon. At various points, the town transitions into a nightmare-ish dimension, which is pretty cool. Every time you hear like a siren, then the town goes black, which I thought was pretty cool. I wish they would have did that more in this movie, because it was more claustrophobic, because she has to use a lighter at one point, or the first time anyway. And then she gets chased by these, I think they're called gray child, or gray children, these weird looking, creepy, ash looking dead kids that have like their faces twisted like across the side. It's weird how like their look is really cool. You didn't get to see them, I don't think, ever again in the movie. Like just for that one scene. Um, and then that's when you get Pyramid Head, who comes in randomly. Sybil catches Rose and tries to arrest her, but then they find out that they're trapped and all the roads are gone. And then Rose runs away because there's this, I forget what they're called. They're the first monsters you encounter in the first game. I forget what they're called, but they have like no arms. They're like armless beings, but they have like legs and they twitch. And they spit out like this black acid, which is pretty cool. I was annoyed that like Rose decides to run away from like the one person that can protect her because she has a gun. But no, you're gonna run away from. Granted, the person arrested you, but like, why would you leave protection? Granted, she arrested you. You're in handcuffs, but again, you're way more. Your chances of survival are better with her. But no, you run away. She encounters many other inhuman creatures. Rose survives the transitions and uh, learns of the existence of Alessa, very much a young girl who was burnt by the town. Dahlia, mother Dahlia, who's basically the mother of Alessa, who is a reincarnation of, or Sharon's reincarnation of Alessa, I believe. But yeah, the cult pretty much back in the day thought she was a witch, I guess, and burned her at the stake. And pretty much, we go back and forth with the dad looking for Sharon and Rose, which I'm like, why do that? Because it takes you out of the whole claustrophobic stuff. I would have liked it if just we had one or maybe two scenes of him, like the last scene of him on the phone with her, and then it's just the rest of the time it's her in Silent Hill. We didn't need to cut back to the dad looking for them in Silent Hill with the police and all that. And even like there's some stuff I sort of don't mind or like when I like how it blends the two scenes. Like she runs, like they're in the same building but they're in different dimensions. So like if she runs like past him and he smells her perfume, So I like that, but I'm good if it wasn't in the movie. Like, I think it should have just stayed on Rose looking for her daughter and trying to survive in Silent Hill. But that's just me, I guess. Pretty much, Sybil fights some of the members of the cult because the stupid head cult lady, she sees the locket of Rose's daughter, Sharon, and she's like, "Which? She resembles Elisa." So then Sybil fights, members, and then Rose enters the basement, but then she's barricaded by a group of weapon-wielding nurses, which is a pretty creepy scene, very well choreographed, who appear to be almost completely blind. She flees and enters Alessa's room, which is really kind of sad if you think about it, because she's on this life support thing, and there's this nurse there that, her face is kind of bloody and really creepy. There's a lot of creepy and disturbing imagery in this, which is, I wish there was more of it than what is there, but, in a flashback, it is revealed that Alessa was looked at as, town witch or whatever, and pretty much after Alessa was then, I guess, also, abused by this janitor, who we also see a janitor monster, but he's, uh, his body's, contorted a bad way, really painful way. And pretty much Alessa's rage grew and manifested as Dark Alessa, who was responsible for shifting dimensions of Silent Hill. Her remaining innocence later manifested as Sharon, who was taken to the real world to be adopted. Who took her to the real world is my question, but okay. As a baby. Desperate to find Sharon, Rose allows Dark Alessa to access the church by fusing with her body. Sharon, protected by Dahlia, is captured. In the church, pretty much, Alessa has her Carrie moment where she just goes ham on all these cult members, which is pretty cool. And pretty gross when she gets to the lead cult lady. She literally goes up her dress and just makes her bleed a fountain of blood from her cooch. And then pretty much Rose rescues Sharon, and upon seeing Dark Alessa, even though I guess she's not supposed to look at her, but she does anyway, and pretty much Sharon and Alessa, Dark Alessa reunite into one body. Rose and Alessa leave the town and return home. When they return home, it is revealed that they are still in the foggy dimension, separated from reality. Meanwhile, Christopher is alone in the real world, but discovers that the front door has mysteriously opened. So yeah, and then it ends. And then, of course, we don't follow up. We sort of follow up with that, but then we don't really in the sequel. The rules of this thing. And it was weird how they even tried to do that. I don't even think the original, writer and director came back to do the sequel, so. And plus, the second movie's not really all that great. It tries to adapt the third game, which I don't mind the third game. Granted, I only played a demo, but I saw gameplays and walkthroughs. I like the story of the third game. They did try to be, authentic to the third game in the second movie, which is good, but then they sort of do. So yeah, the original people that did this movie did not do the sequel, so and it shows. But now in last year, apparently the director, he wants to come back to do another Silent Hill film. Well, you know what? You should have did the second one. Or they should have waited on him to do the second one or something. But nope. But yeah, I don't know when I'll do the second film. If anybody's clamoring for me to do the second film, I'll do it. But I know it's hated a lot. And like this one, either it's liked or hated, loved or hated. So liked or disliked. I'm in between. I like elements of it. There's some stuff I wish they would have done more of, like the first scene when the town goes dark into a nightmarish thing, and she's in the dark. She has to use a lighter to find her way out, and that. I would have liked if the movie went in that direction with more of that, make it more creepy, and have her fight creatures. Cut out the dad looking for Sharon and Rose, and back and forth. The ending, I don't know. Like, usually I don't like the ending, the downbeat ending. Like, it's not really downbeat, but it kind of is, because they're stuck in Silent Hill. Even though I thought the whole thing was they helped Alessa take revenge on these cult people. And I'm assuming she killed all the cult people in that church, but then in the sequel there's more of them. Which I'm like, how's that work? So yeah, but then she possesses Sharon, so then I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's why she's. But then that makes no sense, because in the sequel she's able to get out with a coin thing or a key thing or something. So I don't know. But again, maybe I'll do the sequel later on or sometime down the road. I don't know. We get this video to like 10 or 20 views, maybe I'll do this. I'll do the sequel then if I get a lot of views on this. But yeah, again, Stu, we're done. Yeah, thanks for watching. Take care and peace and love.